these two games could not have been any more dramatic if you actually tried. An 89th minute winner in the first leg, granted due to a Coventry mistake, and then a 122nd aggregate winner took seconds away from penalties, which is just probably the most limsy I've ever seen the Stadium of Light. Genuinely, like, that is the most mental I think with any of us have gone for a goal, as far as I can remember, and it's certainly our biggest home game since the Premier League days by a country distance, to be honest. Look, if I'm going to assess the performance, and I'm going to be fair here, I'm not going to rub salt in Coventry fans' wounds, because to be honest, I thought for about 100 minutes of that we were the inferior team by some distance. I know the idea that you want to be solid and you want to manage the game and so on, but I do feel like we didn't have the correct balance, particularly in normal time, of actually being solid but still doing the bit where you offer something going forward. And I feel like Coventry had it far too easy, and obviously once they scored, I would say it was probably coming. I think we were constantly sitting back, we were allowing cross after cross into the box, and to be fair, I can think of at least one chance in the first half where Sakamoto should have scored, I think. Haji Wright, towards the end of normal time, missed an absolute sitter apparently, and from what I remember inside the ground, it was a good chance that you'd be disappointed not to score. There you go, and it's just how mental this game is. And then even in the first half of extra time, we didn't really offer anywhere near as much as what I thought we could for the quality that we actually have. The only time for me that we actually started to look like doing anything was the second half of extra time. The last 15 minutes of that game, or 17 minutes if you want to include added time and extra time, we did start to force the issue because Coventry were absolutely knackered. And I think I did mention to people before the game that I felt like that was going to be a factor in how this was going to go, because Coventry have had to play full pelts for weeks when we've been resting players. We hopefully would have the extra energy levels, and in the end it showed. I wasn't very happy with Fabrice in the ground, mind, because I thought he was a bit too reactive in terms of bringing the subs on, but I'm not going to complain too much at that. Even if it's the jammiest way we've done it, I said I would take a draw, even if it came in the most jammiest way, in the most horrendous in the most mental of circumstances. Even if we didn't play well, you still take it. We've got ourselves back to Wembley, but I will say this, man, we have to play considerably better than that in the final if we're going to have a chance of going up. But deal with that when you come to it. You've got something like, I think it's, at the time people are probably watching this video, you've got 10 days to prepare now after this. So let's wait and see what happens. Hopefully we'll get another week of training in Mundle and the likes of Elise and everything, and then we'll see what happens when the final comes to it. And Sheffield United, obviously, look, I've said all along that I feel like Sheffield United are the most beatable out of the three teams above us, but they'll be viewing us as beatable based on certainly tonight's performance, so we need to be a lot better. But I've got to say, to be fair, that was easily the best home atmosphere I've experienced at the Stadium of Light since I've got into football, and that was like 14 years ago, really. So I think that there's been a lot of big games before, like, the Sheffield Wednesday game 3 years ago in League One for the playoff semi-final. The Luton game 2 years ago was class. That was definitely for me the loudest, most consistently that has been at the Stadium of Light. And I know for that there was going to be like anxiety, there was going to be nerves, there was going to be nail-biting moments, everything with the way the game was going. But we stuck at it, and this is where for me I think we've got potential as fans to stick with that a bit more often. But look, did we deserve it? Did we hell deserve it, in my opinion? But you know what? I'll take it. And for any Coventry fan, like I said, I don't personally view Coventry as a rivalry. I view it as just another game. But I understand why some Sunderland and Coventry fans don't like each other. I will say this for Coventry fans, because yeah, we did get lucky, in my opinion. But at the same time, Coventry have had the better of us for so long that I think they would due a bit of a bad spell against us. So, I would say that's a little bit of starting to even things out after the way that the last few what was it, 10 years since we played Coventry or so, or 7 years, sorry, it was 2018 we started playing each other when we were both in League One. But look, I feel for Coventry fans, and I know there'll be a lot of Sunderland fans that don't care about that, and I don't blame them for it. I didn't think Coventry deserved that, but you know what? Sometimes you've got to earn your luck. We've had a lot of late goals go against us this season. As I said on the performance, there wasn't really as much to say, to be honest, because I feel like a lot of it we were trying to manage what we had, and I did feel like, and I was worried during the game, because if you keep doing that and keep doing that and keep doing that and offering next to nothing going forward, then eventually that will catch up with you. Well, look, Dan Ballard, honestly, the absolute scenes when that goal went in was absolutely mad. It is easily probably one of the most mental I think we've ever gone for a goal in my entire life since I've started following Sunderland. And I don't care that this isn't a particularly great review. It probably isn't, and it's one where I'm just waffling and talking through a load of the things on the night. But yeah, for me, I think that, you know what, it was just absolute scenes at the end. And again, if this doesn't give Sunderland players confidence and fans confidence as well, or at least a bit more optimism in terms of both two late winners, one on the first leg and then obviously the aggregate winner in the second leg, then what's the point in turning up? But yeah, guys, I'm going to love yous and leave yous there. There'll be other YouTubers, Jamsani, Jalsey and Steve all ending, whoever else will all do a considerably better, Leroy, SCFC, they'll all do a better job than me. And the Mad Mistake, SCFC Fan TV, Black Cats TV, all that stuff, they're all going to mention it better than what I will. But yeah, I'm going to head home. I need to get myself back home and I need to remotely start to chill after that. And then we've got the final to go. So let's see like I said, we need to play a lot better than that if we're going to have a chance of going up, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. Look, you know the drill. If you're watching and you're not a regular sub and you think I've earned it after watching this, then hit the sub button. Absolutely free, doesn't cost a penny, just takes a second. Like the video, share the video around, respectfully comment below, and then all that jazz. You know the drill by this point. And yeah, unless something happens in the next 10 days, the next video will be probably at Wembley. So yeah, let's recover until that point. And yeah, like I said in the first video, this club is going to absolutely send me to an early grave, isn't it? But yeah, enjoy it while we can, and then we'll deal with the final when we come to it. Take care, stay safe, and how are the lads?